this here town.
Woo! Yeah! I know, YouTube, I don't own the rights to the music, I know. Don't own the rights to nothing, so, but the band I'm going to cover today does, and for those of you who know, that was Primus, which you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a Rush, aka Neil Peart shirt. I'll get to that here in a little bit. But for right now, I got to do a little something for y'all. Like, we still got more rocking to do, bitch. Cha. Wanted to get that out of the way right away. So, I haven't gone to a new show yet. Like I said, I got a bunch scheduled. It just hasn't started yet. Kind of getting a little rested up for the haul that's coming. Because when it gets started, it's going to get crazy. So for the next couple shows, probably for this one and next one, it'll probably be older review shows. I mean, not like I've never reviewed these shows, but concerts that I went to maybe a year or so ago. But we'll do a review of them because most likely these bands, even, they're going to tour again if they're not already touring. So it's just a little review of a really cool show that happens June 25th of 2022. So we do go back a little bit. I do remember this show quite a bit. Even though I was in ultimate concert mode that night, it was a fabulous show. I had really good seats on the lower floor. I wasn't on the floor, I had a seat, but we were right behind pretty much the pit area, in my seat there. So good seats right there. At the Virgin Theater, at the Virgin Hotel, it holds about 4,500 people, and there was every bit of 4,500 people there to see that show. It was a tribute to King's tour. Because Primus, not only being huge Rush fans, but Neil Peart died on January 7th of 2020. So Primus was going to do a tour right away for this, but, COVID happened. Had to postpone and cancel a lot of the tour. So finally, after all this time, we finally got to 6/25/22. And I finally got to see this show because, yes, I did have tickets for it when it first was scheduled. And then, what happened. So everything changed. We had to wait. And finally, after 2+ long years, we got to see the show that we were supposed to go see. And it was awesome. There was an opening band called Black Angels. They were formed in 2004 from Austin, Texas. They've had 6 studio albums out since then. If you want to put them in a genre, it's psychedelic rock. You know how I am. It's just rock and roll to me. So, I don't really put any of the rock bands in genre. It's all rock. So, I'll go over their set list real quick. You can check them out on YouTube. Like I always say about opening bands, just don't suck. You don't have to be great. We don't expect you to be great. We didn't buy the ticket because of you, most likely. You may have a couple of Black Angel fans in there, but 99.9% of the people in the crowd are, they paid a ticket to see Primus. Let's be real. And so, we're going to get into the set list here. These guys did a real good job. Like I said, just don't suck. They were cool. If they opened up for another band, I'd be happy because they were good. They did a really good job. The Prodigal Son was first, in a song called Young Men Dead, which I remember that one kind of being a little more darker themed of psychedelic rock, if you want to put that in there, but it was cool. Entrance song, El Jordan, The River, Bloodhounds on My Trail, Black Grease, The Sniper at the Gates of Heaven was number 8. Without a Trace, Empire's Falling at 10, and then a song they finished up their set with called Firefly. Like I said, these guys were pretty cool. I remember them jamming pretty good. I remember talking to the guy right behind me in between the sets of Black Angels and before Primus came out, talking to him, saying, man, those guys were actually pretty good, man. They didn't suck. That's all we expect out of the opening band. Just make us happy for a little bit, because we know what's coming after you get done with your shit and get off the stage. We know we got about 15 to 30 minutes, and we're going to have the band that we wanted to see, that we paid to see, come out. And Black Angels, you did a hell of a job, so good job. Then we're going to get to Primus. They were formed in 1984 El Sobrante, California. Pretty much Les Claypool had a 3-man band, but the 2 other guys that was with him didn't make it to like the first album. So the original Primus lineup, they actually made albums, was in 1989, which was Les Claypool on the bass. On guitar, it was Reed Lawrence, a.k.a. Larry Lalonde, on the guitars. And he's been in Primus the whole time, from what I can read on my research. And then they had a man named Tim Alexander on drums that started with them from 89 to 96, left, went and did some stuff with Perfect Circle, came back to Primus in 03 to 2010, and then left again, came back in 2013, and now he was the man sitting current lineup behind the sticks. He would have to play Neil Peart's part in an upcoming part of the show, which I'll get to. So, the first set was going to be a bunch of Primus songs, which is cool. They come out with Professor Nutbutter's House of Treats, which is a good Primus tune. It's one of the ones you're like, huh? If you don't know the title and stuff, but if you listen to it, you'd be like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. And Les Claypool is so dominant on the bass. They really don't have, I'd say, like, just a lead guitarist, because it's pretty much, you got the lead guitarist, the only guitar, but then you got Les Claypool, and I consider that he plays not just bass, but he plays a lead bass, because he's definitely up front and dominant with that bass, but it goes with the guitarist really well. And then Tim Alexander on the drums, very, very talented drummer. So after the first song was the second song called Aaron on the Side of Caution. And then they do the Hamburger Train intro, which if you know Primus and you know that song, you understand what I'm saying. And then they cut right into a song called Spaghetti Western. And then Conspiranoia. And then they do they start off with Damn Blue Collar Tweakers, which was the song that I played, which I told you I didn't have the rights to. So YouTube, I don't want to see no copyright shit in my thing anymore. That's some bullshit. Anyway, and then they go into Lacquerhead. And then they come back to like a reprise of Damn Blue Collar Tweakers. So you can see kind of where Primus will mix up their songs. Like they'll start off with one, we're going to cut into another, and then we're going to finish up with the one we just started a few minutes ago. Kind of a theme throughout some of the set here you'll see as we go along. And then they do a song called 11. Song number 8 was 11. That's off the Sailing the Seas of Cheese album. And then they do Into Bob's Party Time Lounge, right into a really big Primus tune called Tommy the Cat. And then into Metallica's Master of Puppets. And then back into Tommy the Cat for a reprise of Tommy the Cat. So like I said, Primus mixing it up. Sometimes I don't like it when bands do that too much. But when it's done right, and you could tell like the crowd's getting into it, especially when they cut into Master of Puppets, the crowd just went ape shit. And it was pretty cool to see that. It was a good time. That's kind of how they finished up the first set. So the second set, they're going to cover the album A Farewell to Kings, which is a Rush album from the late 70s. I can't remember exactly what year, damn it. I can't remember. Sorry about that. Between 74 and 78, I think. Farewell to Kings. Fucking look it up. You guys can do your own shit, too. And so that's going to be the second set. They're going to cover that album. And Les Claypool wanted to speak real quick before doing the album. They had to practice harder and longer than what they ever have doing regular Primus songs. They weren't just trying to do like a Primus version of this Rush album. They wanted to do it in such a way that when the still remaining members of Rush listens to it, that they're even like shaking their heads like yes, this is fabulous work you've done. There's a song, well, we'll get to it here in a couple minutes, but they kept everything true. Like if the song called for real chimes and by the drums, they played real chimes. They didn't pipe them in, because even later years of Rush, they did the chimes more electronically live, which some of you may not know that. But later years of Rush, there was just one of them things that Neil Peart was like, oh, let's just pipe them in electronically. We don't fucking. But Primus kept it true, like when they were so. Everything that they did to make sure they covered this album. And this album was not a long album. 2 sides of a record. It wasn't a double record. And it's only 6 songs. There's only a couple of tunes that are, I'd say, longer songs, I believe. The other ones, there's a couple commercials. There's a commercial tune in there. So, I mean, it wasn't like they were all like really long tunes, not like a Tool album. These are, a couple longer tunes, with the other 4 tunes being what they were. So, but they did an excellent job. And, if Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee, the remaining members of Rush, or ever get a chance to listen to a live performance, or maybe they even got to see it live, I bet you they were pretty proud and being like, wow, these guys really had to work hard to cover this album the way they did. And I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Primus is a phenomenal, talented band, even though they'll tell you they suck. They'll tell you that. But when you break it right down, they don't suck. They don't. You may not like what they play. You may not like their music, but they don't suck. So let's get into the set list of the Farewell to Kings album. First song out was a Farewell to Kings. So, good solid way to start off the album. Is, because pretty much they're just going to cover it front to back. They didn't change the order or nothing. Second song was Xanadu, which whenever I think of chimes on this album, that's the song. They're towards the beginning of the song. Like, it's a pretty long intro for the song. And like I said, they kept everything true. They didn't try to fake any of it. Phenomenal. I hope they put this out on a DVD, like Primus doing the Farewell to Kings Blu-ray, DVD. I would buy that in a second. Third song, it was Closer to the Heart, which was like the big commercial hit off the album. Which, when you only have 6 songs on the album, and you gotta like, hey, we gotta have one to promote the album, this and that. Well, that was the one they put out. Still a Rush classic Rush tune. That'll people will be, as long as you're listening to Rush, people are gonna listen to Closer to the Heart. In the Cinderella Man, Madrigal, and then Cygnus. And they finished up, like I said, that was how they finished it up, because that's the end of the album. If you've never heard the album A Farewell to Kings by Rush, check it out. It's definitely an awesome album. Xanadu alone is worth the price of admission for the album. Phenomenal. I had such a great time. The crowd was super hyped up. I mean, there was well over 4,000 people out of the 4,500 standing on their feet, heads a-banging, just jamming. Air guitar, air bass, whatever you played. You play the air drums, you're the vocal guy, whatever you're into. The crowd it was awesome. But we're not done yet, because, of course, now they got to do an encore. And we get not 1, not 2, but not 3, but 4 songs for the encore. One is kind of a partial version, but let's get into it. First song they do is Welcome to This World, off the Primus Pork Soda album from the early 90s. They do that song right into My Name is Mud. Then they do like a partial version of Jerry Was a Race Car Driver, because that was one of Primus's first, I wouldn't say first tunes, but that was one of the bigger tunes, I should say, that kind of really, because they had some good stuff off of Frizzle Fry, then right into Sailing the Seas of Cheese, and that's where Jerry Was a Race Car Driver was off of. And, that's a cool song to at least did a partial version of it. And then into a song called Over the Electric Grapevine. They even did a little teaser of Southbound Pachyderm in the middle of it as well, which is another Primus song. If you asked me, do I have a wish list of songs that they could have played? Too Many Puppies would definitely be one. More stuff off the Frizzle Fry album is what I would say. Would have been cool. But I understand it wasn't really about Primus so much as they wanted to make sure that they covered that Rush album. And that's what they were trying to hit on, and they hit it. They was awesome. Definitely get a Magic Lamp rub for that one, as I got the Magic Lamp Big Blue out here, the Blue Blazer. We'll rub the Magic Lamp for good luck for that one. That was a hell of a show. Like I said, I'm very happy I got to see it. Plus, if I had another idea of a wish list participant, it'd be a full version of Jerry Was a Race Car Driver. I think that's one of the Primus tunes that you shouldn't cut. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to play it, play the damn tune. Just saying. And there's other tunes, too, off of Sailing to Seas of Cheese and Pork Soda that I would have thrown in. But I just didn't want to just make it a big, like, here's a big list. Because I did love what they did play. Don't get me wrong. Primus has a lot of good tunes. They got a lot of stuff. So, but it was an awesome show. I wouldn't, like I said, besides a couple of my wish list tunes, I wouldn't change a thing. It was a great show. Unfortunately, Neil Peart died January 7th, 2020 of, I believe it was brain tumor. Very sad to say. I never did get to see Rush live. Definitely will be one of the things that I will regret. And that kind of sucks, Did have chances, but it's one of those things you're like, I'll get them on the next time, and then there wasn't a next time. So, keep that in mind. It's kind of a life lesson. When you got something right in front of you, take advantage of it and grab it. Make it yours and shit. I'm going to go ahead and get on out. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the set list and the show and shit. Like I said, it's an older show, but, hey, I haven't talked about it yet. And I remember it pretty well because, like I said, Primus was spot on. So, and I didn't even mention, we're on season 2, episode 13, the 38th overall episode happening right now and finishing up. So thank you for all who's been paying attention the whole time. If there's any newbies coming in, thank you once again for checking me out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Shoot over some comments. If I don't get to you right away, I'll get to you as soon as I possibly can. I do have a full-time job too and stuff, and I play softball 2 nights a week, and plus I go to a lot of shows, even though I haven't been yet, I know this year, but trust me, I got a bunch of stuff already lined up, and there's going to be other things that are going to be falling in place too, I'm sure, throughout the year, like it always does. So we still got a lot more rocking to do, bitch. Don't worry, I'm not done. It's not like I'm going through a bad spell. It's just there's some shows going on that I didn't want to go to. I don't go to every show just to get show content. I got to at least like you a little bit, I'm not going to go to see some bullshit. But alrighty, I'm checking out. Love you. And I'll talk to y'all later. Remember, we still got more rocking to do, bitch. A lot more. Night, night. Keep your balls tight. From the tube.